medical care to this group of people who are distributing this vaccine. It makes no sense. The people who are developing the vaccine, of course, got their money. They got $2 billion of taxpayers' money, and they're supposed to do the job. But the whole purpose of free society is to distribute scarce resources in a more efficient manner. And this is a typical example of how government gets involved, and they mess it up. The more they mess it up, the more they want. So I think it's time for us to step back and think about this for a minute and not endorse this whole idea that the government should be running the show. And that is exactly what we're moving toward on national health care, is the same people that have given us this very complex, confusing mess and a lot of wasted money as far as I can see, more control and more power. That doesn't make any sense. You know, it's interesting to note that the president's children have not gotten their shots, and the explanation for this is it hasn't been available to them. Now, that's a little bit hard to buy when you think that probably anything the president wants can be available for their children. So in a way, he's made his decision not to give his children these inoculations. So if he has freedom of choice on this, I would like to make sure that all the American people have the same amount of freedom of choice. You know, it reminds me also that when presidents talk about public education, and the biggest champions of public education make sure their kids never get public education. They always get private education, where there's a lot better choices than the type of system that they're promoting. That, of course, is what would happen in a socialized system of medicine. There will always be some who will be privileged to make these decisions outside of the rules of the government. It's also interesting to ask the question of why we should be worried about an emergency, especially when the emergency is designed to get rid of some of the government regulation. Well, some of the concerns, I think, are justified, because in the law, when there is emergency declared for medical reasons, the government gets more power to invoke quarantines for a large number of people. So this, once again, is decision-making at a central level by government, not by doctors and patients and local communities. So even though that is not likely to happen right now, I think this conditions the people to accept the idea that government is our protector, and when the government declares an emergency, then we have to, go along with whatever they say. Fortunately, though, I think the American people are waking up on this, since I personally don't think that it's critical that everybody gets one of these H1N1 flu shots. I think I saw one statistic where 65% of the American people have chosen not to get the flu shot. And those who have, ironically, they can't find it, because, of course, when something is free, it's also very scarce.
It says here that the Spiegel Online reported earlier this month that German Chancellor and government ministers received mercury and squalene-free H1N1 vaccine along with soldiers in the German army. So if they can get it, then how come, it has to be in our vaccines? If they can get it mercury-free and squalene-free and all that, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Doesn't make any sense at all. And they're just after your kids. They are preying on the kids. Government hijacks kids' TV to propagandize for swine flu shots. The federal government has accelerated its $16 million PR campaign to brainwash and coerce increasingly suspicious Americans into taking the swine flu vaccine by weaving their propaganda into popular preschool shows for children currently airing on PBS Kids. Sid the Science Kid, they had this propaganda on, and it really is just simply outrageous.
Hey kids, we're ready to roll! Stopping that virus, that's our goal! So come on everybody, we're getting the shot! hurt a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But it's gonna help a whole lot.
This vaccination is a great opportunity. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. To do something for yourself and your community. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The virus won't spread if we don't let it.
So roll up your sleeves and come and get it.
If I don't get the virus, I won't give it to you. If you don't give it to me, I won't give it to her. If I don't get it from her, I won't give it to them. That's true.
If I don't get the virus, I won't give it to you.
Hey kids, we're ready to roll. Stopping that virus, that's our goal. So come on everybody, we're getting the shot. It might hurt a little bit,
Just a little bit.
but it's gonna help a whole lot.
Hey kids, I'm ready to roll. Stopping that virus, that's my goal. So come on everybody, we're getting the shot. It might hurt a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Ouch, but it's gonna help a whole lot.
And you know, they're preying on these kids, and this is also part of a bigger agenda of eugenics. And if you don't know what eugenics is, please get yourself informed on eugenics, because this is a big part of it, infecting the people with the soft kill. And that's exactly what's going on with these vaccines. Now, Bush TV propaganda program continues under Obama. Pentagon officials won't confirm Bush propaganda program ended. And a covert Bush administration program that used retired military analysts to generate favorable wartime news coverage has not been terminated, Raw Story has found. Raw Story's investigation, however, has shown that some responsible senior officials are still employed by the Defense Department, including Brian Whitman, who remains chief Pentagon spokesman and head of media operations. They said, well, this doesn't go on, these people don't work here. But they actually do work there. And they are continuing on with their propaganda campaign through the TV to put out favorable messages concerning the war. Internal Pentagon documents show that the military's analyst program was stepped up in 2005 when U.S. public support for the war in Iraq began to sour. Today, as recent polls show, American support for the war in Afghanistan is plummeting. The Pentagon and the Obama White House are facing a similar problem. You know, and in these administrations, they just keep continuing the same policies over and over. It's a left-right paradigm fraud. It doesn't matter if it's the left or the right. The New World Order agenda continues. Okay, and there's another thing that they might do. Government may block websites during the pandemic. Reuters reported this. I mean, they are going to clamp down. They are clamping down on the internet. They're afraid of people like myself getting this message out to people. And they're afraid big time about it. Ceding the internet to global governments, the Heritage Foundation reported this. Last month, President Obama proudly announced at the United Nations the steps taken under his administration to embrace a new era of engagement. Its international affairs, by correcting the actions of past administration, might lead people to question the character and cause of America, including supporting the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, addressing global warming through the UN, joining the Human Rights Council, signing the Disabilities Convention, supporting the Millennium Development Goals, and paying Americans arrears to the United Nations without asking the organization to implement reforms to prevent those payments from being misused. Now, under previous arrangement, the U.S. government retained veto power over ICANN's decisions. Now, ICANN is where you register every website. And what this is this will result in a UN-controlled and regulated internet that would be in non-democratic countries that oppose the right to free speech, such as China, and anti-market impulses. So anybody who's like anti-government, anti-establishment, that stands for freedom and Constitution, we're all under attack. The internet is under attack. Oh my God. The U.S. must stand firm and reject efforts to internationalize governance of the internet. We don't need the UN taking control more of the sovereignty laws. You know, sovereignty means that we're free of outside manipulation, outside control. We decide what goes in our bodies. We decide who